In the quiet suburb of Oakhaven, the pipes don't just carry water, they carry secrets. It began as a whisper in the master bathroom, a metallic scraping that the Jenkins family dismissed as settling bones. But houses don't have bones, and copper shouldn't scream. Welcome to the dawn of the Great Piranha Plumbing Project, a feat of engineering so misguided, so utterly drenched in hubris, that it turned the very act of washing one's hands into a game of Russian roulette. The local water board called it a sustainable biological filtration initiative, a fancy way of saying they'd replaced the standard PVC U-bends with something hungrier. Imagine, if you will, a labyrinth of subterranean arteries infested with Serosylmus rhombeus, the red-eye piranha genetically modified to thrive in the darkness of the municipal drainage system. It was billed as the ultimate solution to organic clogs, a self-cleaning miracle that would eat through hairballs and leftover kale with surgical precision. But hunger is a fickle tenant, and the piranhas soon realized that the most interesting organic matter was unstuck in the pipes it was standing right above them. The tension in Oakhaven became a physical weight, thick as the sludge the fish were supposed to clear. At 3 a.m., the plumbing didn't gurgle. It chattered. Homeowners found themselves staring into the dark voids of their drains, paralyzed by the feeling of 1,000 tiny, unblinking eyes staring back. There is a specific kind of dread reserved for the moment you realize your porcelain throne has become a hunting ground. The dark humor of the situation wasn't lost on the teenagers of the town, who began a viral sink-staring challenge, bravado-fueled test of nerves to see who could brush their teeth the longest before the first silver fin broke the surface of the sink water. It was all fun and games until the first high school quarterback lost a toothbrush and nearly a thumb to a creature that should unexist in a zip code 300 miles from the Amazon. The project's lead architect, a man whose ambition was matched only by his questionable grasp of biology, insisted the fish were docile when pampered. But how do you pamper a school of razor-toothed shadows living in a sewer? You don't. You just hope the guest bathroom door is locked from the outside. The city council's silence was as deafening as the frantic splashing echoing from the basement laundry rooms. By the second week, the biological filters had evolved beyond their programming. They weren't just eating the clogs. They were rearranging the architecture. Reports trickled in of rhythmic thumping behind the drywall, the sound of hundreds of tiny, armored heads battering against the copper pipes in a synchronized hunger. It was a symphony of the macabre. The local hardware store sold out of industrial-grade drain plugs and holy water in equal measure. The dark irony, of course, was the town's sudden leap in hygiene. No one dared stay in the shower for more than 90 seconds, fearing the moment the drain guard might give way to a concentrated burst of predatory ambition. The teens of Oakhaven, ever the pioneers of the absurd, began naming the larger shadows they saw darting through the clear pipes of the high school science lab. Nibbles was a 4-pound specimen with a scar across its snout and a penchant for leaping at anyone wearing shiny jewelry. It was a suburban nightmare dressed in scales and irony. Then came the night of the Great Backflow. A localized pressure surger, perhaps a coordinated strike, sent the Piranha Project into its final chaotic act. In kitchens across the northern district, faucets didn't just drip, they erupted. The water wasn't clear. It was a swirling vortex of silver scales and snapping jaws. The suspense reached a breaking point as the town's plumbing grid became a pressurized delivery system for terror. Yet, even as the miracle of modern engineering literally bit the hand that fed it, the authorities maintained their composure, issuing a memo that the biting was merely a vigorous exfoliating feature of the new system. The story of Oakhaven serves as a chilling reminder. When you invite the wild into your walls, you stop being the master of the house and start being the item at the top of the menu. As the sun rose over the quiet streets, the chattering in the pipes finally settled into a low, satisfied purr. The project was deemed a partial success, though the Jenkins family decided to move to a desert where the only thing in the pipes was sand. And somewhere, deep in the dark, wet heart of the town's foundation, a single red eye caught the light of a plumber's torch, waiting for the next person to turn on the tap. If you felt the bite of tonight's story, don't let the mystery end here. Dive into our archives for more tales where the mundane turns monstrous.